Welcome back to the channel. What we have right here are the brand new active noise canceling TICPODs. And normally I don't get excited about earbuds under $100 because most of them either suck or they're all so similar that it's not really worth talking about. And these, on the other hand, were surprisingly better than almost any other earbuds at this price point, and arguably better than a lot of earbuds even double this price. So these are coming in at about $85 right now, and there's a lot to talk about with these earbuds, from active noise cancellation, from single point connection, great sound quality, and they actually do a lot more than I expected. So we'll definitely have to talk about where they actually cut the corners and how they were able to make these so cheap. Now, before we actually get into this video though, I want to say thank you all for subscribing to this channel. Anybody who's been supporting it along the way. We finally reached 100,000 subscribers, and for that I will be doing a giveaway later on in the video. I'll tell you how you could win, but I'll be giving away some Earbuds and I'll be giving away another Google Nest Mini, so stay tuned. I'll tell you guys how you can win those. But getting into this review, starting off with a physical tour of these earbuds, we have a solid plastic case. I believe it's polycarbonate. It's actually surprisingly light, and it's slightly larger than I would like to see for a case. It does not have Qi wireless charging on the back, but otherwise it's a pretty standard case. Has USB Type-C charging on the bottom, so that's good to see that. You'll see that the case and the earbuds are both all white. On the inside, we also have a small LED on the top. And if we turn the case upside down, one thing I noticed is that if you shake it, even gently, these definitely fall out. So they're held in magnetically if you hold it upside down, but if you shake it at all, it's very likely these will be falling out. That's not necessarily a big deal for most people, but if you drop it, just know the earbuds are going to be not in the case. Now, talking about the earbuds themselves, they're shaped like the classic AirPods, AirPods 1, AirPods 2nd generation, kind of that long straw shape coming out of your ear. Some people really like it, some people really dislike it, but regardless, they're very light and they're very comfortable. So there are two different silicone tips that it comes with, a larger and a smaller one. And I also noticed that if you don't like those silicone tips, you could easily just take it off and wear it similar to the original AirPods as an all plastic design. I know some people really don't like the squishy tips in their ear. And something else you'll notice with these silicone tips is that they're not actually circular. It's more of an oval shape, which I found was actually surprisingly more comfortable and more sturdy in my ears. So I went for a run. I ran 5 miles with these in my ears, and not only did they not fall out, but I didn't even have to readjust them, and they were comfortable enough that I kind of forgot they were even in my ears. Now, these are IPX5 water resistant, and between the water resistance and the fit, these really are pretty ideal for working out. So you don't have to worry about sweating, you don't have to worry about them falling out of your ears, at least with running. Maybe if you're doing burpees, they might be more likely to fall out, but still, being fairly light earbuds, I didn't think that was a problem. Now, something to note with the longer shape here is they do have an improved antenna over the previous TICPODs, so we do have a pretty strong, stable connection with these. And on the outside right there, we have a touch control. Now, the touch controls do not have anything for a single tap, so if you are adjusting your earbuds, you don't have to worry about the single tap touch control. Instead, it's double tap, triple tap, and tap and hold. You cannot customize those because there is no associated app at the moment. They may come out with that later, and I'll talk about that later on in the video. But the touch controls, they work well enough. I can tap it, it always registers my tapping, has feedback in the ears, so you know when you tapped it. And also looking at the earbud, you'll see on the outside, right there, you have a small LED. On the bottom, you have a microphone, and then the two little nodes for charging. And on the other side of your ear, really close to your ear there, you will have another microphone. So 2 microphones here. I'll test that out in a minute to see how good this sound quality is if you're on a phone call, but having 2 microphones should make it, a decent quality. All right, another quirk I noticed with these is the tolerancing on the inside of the lid. So every now and then, if you move the rubber tips even a little bit, it won't close and it gets stuck like that. And you have to open it and readjust the bud so that this is where it should be, just like that. And then when we put it back in, you'll see it should close much more naturally. So it should just flop down like that. All right, so now for a fit test and a microphone test. To put these in your ear, you just put them in and then twist them just very slightly and they'll fit in very well. Honestly, these are, like I said, very comfortable. I feel like they're not gonna fall out. So if you just do like a shake test, like, you'll see that they don't fall out just from pretty much anything you're doing. Now let's get into a microphone test and see how good they sound indoors. All right, so this is what the TICPODS ANC sound like in a studio environment. Comment down below. Let me know how good this sounds to you. Now let's go outside and see what it sounds like in a more noisy environment. All right, so we're outside with the TICPODS ANC right now. Definitely a substantial amount of traffic behind me, so
see how this sounds, comment down below if you can hear what I'm saying.
As far as connectivity and pairing goes, these have single point connection, which means you can listen to either one, the left or the right, while the other is in the case. That's great for signal strength. It's also great for battery life and just a plethora of other things, which is why I really like to see that in a lot of modern earbuds. And on top of that, they also do have very quick pairing. So as soon as you take it out of the case, it's in pairing mode. You can connect to Apple or you can connect to Android very, very easily. Something that these do not have is multi-pairing, so you cannot connect to two phones at the same time. You'll have to disconnect from one to connect to the other. Not a huge deal, but it is a feature that I do like to see in earbuds. These have Bluetooth 5.0, which is pretty standard for most earbuds these days, and they actually have a 5-hour battery life in the earbuds and 21 hours with the case. It's not really the best. That's very middle of the road. It's what we see in AirPods and a lot of other earbuds. But for most people, that should probably be enough battery life. So far, these earbuds really are checking off a lot of boxes. They are very comfortable, they're water resistant, they have great connectivity. But now getting into sound quality, this is typically where earbuds really start to fall off. But these, however, I found were very impressive. Now, starting off with the facts, these have a 13mm driver in each earbud that should be delivering you pretty significant bass, and I'll talk about that in a second. They also have active noise cancellation, which I can also test out in a second to show you guys exactly what levels I'm hearing and not hearing with these. But in general, I found that it works well enough for basic white noises. If there's a fan in the room, it'll kind of silence that a little bit. But there is also a little bit of hissing with the active noise cancellation. It's certainly not the best, but for $80, it is impressive that they added that in there. All right, so now for a quick active noise cancellation test. This is by no means a perfect test, but just for reference for how much gain you're actually going to get from this. Right now I have passthrough mode on, so I can hear absolutely everything. So if I just tap and hold, it'll go into ANC off, so just the regular doing nothing mode, passive mode. And I'm going to play some sound here on my computer and see at what volume I can start to hear the white noise. So if we go down to volume 0, I'll start turning it up. Right about volume 10 is where I start to hear it with just passive noise blocking. So now if I tap and hold this again to turn on active noise cancellation, so now it's on, and I'm going to turn this up, and I start to hear the white noise at about volume 20. So that just doubled the volume on my computer right there. Now for reference, I'm going to compare them to the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 2s. These are about $300, and these are probably the best on the market right now. So this is just for reference. I'm not comparing these head to head, but for these, you can turn it up to about volume 38 before you start to hear that white noise. So that just gives you an idea that these are not going to be the same caliber as some of the more expensive ones out there, but it's still doing a lot more than passive noise blocking. As far as codecs go, they don't say anywhere on their website, so we can assume it's probably just SBC and AAC, so nothing spectacular. But for most Spotify listening, this is really all you would need. Now, the sound quality itself, I found that there was a very responsive and rumbly bass. It was definitely prominent enough for any music I was listening to. If I was listening to more acoustic music, it wasn't too prominent though. So I think these earbuds had a really good balance overall, which is good to see because there is no EQ, being that there is no associated app. So it was good. It was kind of just lucky that it came out with a really good balance here. I like that they did that. It is a slightly darker, but not necessarily warm sound. So you have a lot more bass, and then the higher end stuff is lacking a little bit of detail. I think most users won't even notice this, but there is definitely a significant difference between when you have active noise cancellation or pass-through mode on versus when you have it off. So when you have those off, the sound quality is honestly really good. When you have it on, it definitely squashes the sound quality a little bit. So if you're looking for the best quality sound, just remember to turn off your ANC and your pass-through mode. So really what I'm trying to say about the higher frequencies is that it did lack a little bit of details in things like snares. The cymbals sounded a little bit flat, and there's also slightly less instrument separation, so a little bit more congested in higher frequencies. But overall, I found that these were extremely impressive for this price point. And to really summarize, they have great bass, an overall really nice balance, and if you don't have active noise cancellation on, they sound very clean. Now, the only drawback would really be higher frequencies might sound a bit muddy, but like I said, this sound quality is significantly better than even earbuds double this price. All right, so these earbuds overall are very impressive, but they did cut a few things to make the price lower. And so getting into some of the cons with these earbuds, the first one is lacking volume controls, and likewise lacking an app so you can even customize the controls. It's just a very small drawback there. I like to adjust the volumes on my earbuds themselves, but you know, not having that, I guess it is what it is. They also have somewhat mediocre active noise cancellation. It's okay that it exists, but I wouldn't expect it to be anywhere near the caliber of Sony or Sennheiser on their premium models for obvious reasons, especially being that they're like 3 times the price. They're also a little bit large, and in my own personal opinion, I'm not the biggest fan of the AirPods type aesthetic on earbuds. I know some people might be okay with that, but for me at least, I would chalk that up as a drawback. And then really the last one is going to be that they don't have wireless charging. It's something that I really want to see in all new earbuds. These don't have that, so small drawback, but just plugging it in, you'll get 21 hours with the case and the earbuds combined. So for most people, that's not a drawback at all. All right, so overall, these earbuds fit really well, water resistant, single point connection. They have active noise cancellation. It's more like active noise reduction is probably what I'd call it, because it's not cutting out that much sound, but you know, it is better than nothing if you're gonna be on an airplane. And of course, they do actually work very well. The sound quality is very impressive actually. Now, of course, you do have those drawbacks that I just mentioned, but overall, would I recommend these? Yeah, absolutely. If you're looking for earbuds under $100, these do an excellent job. They fit really well. And I like the bonus that you can actually take off the silicone tip and wear it like a standard AirPod if you want. If you don't like, you know, some people have like really waxy ears or weird shape with their ears, and it's just not comfortable to wear these tips. So taking it off with these is also a nice added benefit. So guys, that's what I have to say about the TICPODS ANC. Comment down below and let me know what you guys think of these, if you'll buy them or not, or I will be comparing these as well in future videos, specifically one coming out in the next couple days, comparing the best mid-range and sort of budget earbuds on the market. So stay tuned for that one. Subscribe if you haven't already. And now, for those of you who stuck around and want to know how you can actually win the Wearbuds or the Google Nest Mini, the way you'll be doing that, actually just go on over to my Instagram. I'll link it right there. I'll also put the link in the description so you can click on that. Go to my Instagram, comment on my most recent post, and just follow me on Instagram, and then I'll pick out a winner within the next week or so, and I'll DM you if you win this, and I'll just send it to you for free, obviously for free. So guys, thanks again for helping me hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you next time.